Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Indiana Tech Women's Basketball on this broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. I'm Thad Goff bringing you the broadcast tonight, and it's Indiana Tech taking on Georgetown. That's not the Georgetown Hoyas, it's the Georgetown Tigers of Georgetown, Kentucky that the Warriors are taking on today. It's a non-conference game. Indiana Tech trying to bounce back after that tough buzzer-beating loss at the hands of Huntington back on Thursday night. Celeste Ryman knocking down the game-winning three ball to send Huntington to victory. It was an impressive season last year for Indiana Tech where they won the WAC conference, but tonight it's another non-conference game. They're taking on Georgetown of the Mid-South Conference. And Georgetown last year finished third in the Mid-South Conference, a conference record of 13-9. an overall record of 22-19. So Georgetown could certainly prove to be a tall order when Indiana Tech takes the floor here in just a matter of moments. It looks like they're going to have the announcement of the starting lineups in just a matter of moments, along with the national anthem. We'll get ready to bring that to you here in just a second here on SummitCitySports.com. This broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Indiana Tech certainly has a lot of talent back from last year's team, including Kara Whitaker, who had a couple of big threes in the game against Huntington. Juliana Burris was the leading scorer in that particular game. I believe she had 22 points overall. And she scored what almost proved to be the winning bucket late in the game, as we're going to turn this one over to our PA announcer.
Between the visiting Georgetown Tigers and your Indiana Tech Warriors. Indiana Tech, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference and the NAIA are committed to maintaining the true spirit of competition through the 5 core values of the NAIA: respect, responsibility, integrity, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Please do your part by showing respect to every spectator, student athlete, coach, and official in today's contest. Thank you. At this time, we ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Georgetown Tigers. At guard, wearing number 5, Erin Toller. Starting at forward, number 10, Madison Garnett. At forward, number 11, Izzy Lamperty. At forward, number 22, Cassie Polo. And at guard, wearing number 21, Lisa Cole-Giamani. Georgetown is coached by Jeff Nickel. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Indiana Tech Warriors. Starting at guard, a junior from Dublin, Ohio, wearing number 0, Juliana Burris. At another guard, a freshman from Dublin, Ohio, number 3, Taylor Covington. At forward, a redshirt senior from Gas City, number 11, Erica Boyd. At guard, the grad student out of Greensburg, number 13, Kyle Whitaker. And at guard, a redshirt junior from Western Ohio, number 20, Brittany
with that, we are ready for basketball here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech trying to bounce back from that home loss to Huntington. This Georgetown team certainly no slouch, coming off a 22-win season a year ago. They are well coached. Jeff Nickel, he's only in his second season at Georgetown, but he spent the prior years at Shawnee State, was there from 2012 to 2021. That included a 29-win season in 2016, 31 wins in 2017 and 2018, and 29 wins again in 2020. And this game is underway. The tip won by the Tigers. This is number 21 for the Tigers, although I don't see a number 21 on the roster. But getting to the basket there is Izzy Lamparty.
First down basket scored by Izzy Lamparty.
Basket no good. Lamparty first on the board for Georgetown. They lead it 2-0 early on. Backwards pass. Again, no number 21 on the roster here. Shot off the glass, it's good. Madison Darnell with the bucket there, senior from Russell, Kentucky. Whitaker looking to push inside, instead kicks it outside. That's Covington for the 3-ball, and it's off the mark. Rebound comes out to Aaron Toller. Toller into the paint. Kicks to the corner. The 3 by Darnell, and that's no good. Burris has the rebound. Huntington got off to an early lead against Indiana Tech here on this court just on Tuesday night. There's a takeaway. Well, that's taken right back. And that is Covington who comes up with it, the freshman out of Dublin, Ohio. Whitaker stops and pops and nails it. I think the score there was 4-2. Whitaker, the graduate student from Greensburg, Indiana, was the second leading scorer on last year's Warrior team that won the WAC conference, but getting tested early on in the season by what appears to be a much improved Huntington team. There's Aaron Toller to the basket, leaning in, the shot no good. Long pass up the floor, looking for Foy. She saves it, and Burris is able to get there. Whitaker for 3, too strong. Back down the floor come the Tigers. Lamparty, the pull-up jumper, too strong. Here comes Burris back down the floor for Tech. Indiana Tech volleyball picked up a win today. I was pleased to call that game against Lawrence Tech. 3-1 was the final as far as the sets were concerned. And wide open underneath is Foy. And Indiana Tech ties the game. Call it a run if you want to. They have scored the last 4 points. Traveling is the call. .13 left to go as Indiana Tech gets the ball. This is Burris across the timeline. Whitaker was looking to drive baseline. Instead gets it back outside to Covington. And that pass is taken away.
Run to the ball.
Izzy Lamparty, one-on-one, throws it up. And that is no good. But an offensive rebound by Cassie Cologne. 3-ball off the mark. Foy's got it. Foul called.
Foul is called on Georgetown. Madison
Darnell going to be called for that
foul.
foul.
The contest for your Warriors.
It's a non-shooting foul, so no free throws coming up. It will be inbounded along the sideline as Burris gets it to put it in play. She's able to find Foy. Back to Burris. Whitaker fakes the shot. Wanted the step back 3. Burris able to retrieve the ball. Nice cut by Bethany Worm, but she couldn't finish with the bucket. Back down the floor comes Toller, and she's fouled.
Foul on the Warriors, Genevieve Decker.
Genevieve Decker-Terrace called for the foul there.
Aaron Toller going to the line, they shoot 2.
So we're looking to give the lead to Georgetown, but not do so on that last free throw. Second one's good. Georgetown indeed does get the lead. Good feed, and the basket is good. I think that was Foy. It was indeed Foy, and that gives Tech the lead. Back on the other end, Georgetown takes the lead. Madison Darnell with the bucket. 3 ball comes up short. Offensive board, Bethany Worm. And she's unable to connect.
Indiana Tech foul called on
Foul called against Whitaker. Some subs into the game. Looks like for both teams. As Covington will come back in for Indiana Tech.
Callie Jackson into the lineup for the Tigers.
5:21 left to go here in this first quarter. Fake the pass. Now they make the pass inside to Jalen Landversicht, I beg your pardon. Apologies, trying to pronounce that in an appropriate way. A foul is called on Georgetown. They're going to call it on Izzy Lamparty.
Good call.
Beg your pardon, I think they got it on Landversicht, number 12 instead of number 11. So here's Burris back down the floor with 5 minutes to play. Loose ball taken back by the Tigers. Callie Jackson came up with a loose ball. And here's Sophie Smith, who has it blocked. And then a foul is called. Decker-Terrace with the rejection.
Georgetown's Callie Jackson.
Callie Jackson called for the foul, and it's Burris who brings the ball up for Tech. Burris across the timeline. This is Whitaker. She hit 2 threes in the loss to Huntington on Thursday night. Covington, we've had one. I thought she got slapped on the arm there. They don't call it though. Here's Sophie Smith down the floor. She hasn't poked away, but she's able to regain control and find Darnell. A sidestep by Toller, and her three's no good. Whitaker's got the board, but has it ripped away and out of bounds. Darnell going after the turnover and did not get it. Subs will come in for Covington. Jordan Rogers is one of those substitutions, along with Cassie Cologne. There's the inbound to Whitaker.
Also, Jordan Rogers in for the Tigers.
Whitaker slows it down, loses the ball, and turns it over. Jordan Rogers down the floor. Rogers finishes at the rim. A 3-point lead for Georgetown. Indiana Tech has led one so far in this game. Whitaker double team, finds a wide open teammate. Shot's no good. That was Covington who took the shot. Good closeout defensively by the Tigers. Here's Smith. Gives it off to Rogers. driving to the basket and scoring is Cassie Cologne. Cassie Biggs calls out the play to her team as Whitaker stops short of the line before she made the pass, so no over and back. But Whitaker wanted to size that one up, but Smith had it well defended. Nice pass, Foy, but an offensive foul wipes out what otherwise would have been a great play.
Substitutions for Georgetown. Number 21.
Into the game for Georgetown comes Lisa Solajamani. So that solves the mystery as to who was number 21. Solajamani was wearing number 21. She's listed on the roster as number 4. A native of Burlington, Vermont, and a transfer from Franklin Pierce University. Cassie Cologne drives against the screen, and an offensive foul, an illegal screen perhaps. They called that one on Callie Jackson. That's the 4th team foul against Georgetown. Comes with 2:55 left to go in the first quarter. Georgetown, a little 2-2-1 press. That ball's poked away, but Foy's able to grab it. Whitaker, long 3, short. And a good box out by A.J. Stevenson, native of Huntland, Tennessee. Solajamani to the basket, offensive foul.
Sophie Smith checking in for Georgetown.
Solajamani, that's her first foul.
Also, Juliana Burris back in for the Warriors.
Juliana Burris coming off that 24-point performance. I believe I said 22 earlier. Missed a couple of points off of that. 24 for Burris. Double team comes to Whitaker. She's able to get it away. A lot of pressure put on by these Tigers, but Foy is able to get the bucket against that pressure. Entry pass inside to Darnell. Darnell makes a move and hits the shot. Darnell makes it a 5-point lead as we are inside the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Whitaker sizing it up. A late closeout there prevented her from firing the 3. Defending her was A.J. Stevenson. And a foul, a little hand check foul called as Corin Smith was just able to recover the ball.
Well, whistle against Georgetown's Madison Darnell.
I have to correct myself. It was Smith who made the basket on the last series for Indiana Tech, and a sub will come in. That's Taylor Covington.
Lambersite returns for Georgetown.
Jalen Lambersite back into the game, and free throws coming up for Corin Smith. Smith's able to knock the first one down. Indiana Tech did have a brief lead early in this first quarter, but Georgetown continuing to play a lot of pressure. The well-coached team, Jeff Nickel, had not only winning seasons when he was at Shawnee State, but seasons of 29 wins, 31 wins, 26 wins on one occasion. He's taken his team to the NAIA National Championship a few times when he was at Shawnee State. Cologne, count it, and a foul.
Foul was whistled against Indiana Tech's Genevieve Decker.
Or perhaps not a made basket. Cassie Cologne goes to the line. She'll shoot 2. She did not make the basket. I thought initially that the official had signaled that, but not the case. first one to fall. Indiana Tech still with a chance to cut in this deficit. Yes, the correct score is 13-10. I think 14-9 earlier. I think I gave a point to the wrong team. Second one's in and out. As Foy gets the rebound, and here is Burris back down the floor. She finds Whitaker. Check that. I believe that is Corinne Smith, number 31, not number 11. Behind the back dribble by Burris. Shot clock down to 10. Whitaker backs it out. A high screen set by Smith. Down to 4. Spinning in is Whitaker. Can she get it off? She drew the foul.
Foul whistle against Georgetown's Cassie Cologne.
Cassie Cologne called for the foul, and Whitaker goes to the line. She'll shoot 2.
To the line for the Warriors, shooting 2.
Whitaker's able to hit the first free throw. Indiana Tech trying to fight their way back into this game. They haven't faced a huge deficit, but they have been down for most of the first quarter. But Whitaker will make that a 1-point deficit.
Aaron Fuller and Lisa Suljamani.
Suljamani back into the game for Georgetown. Will be Suljamani to bring the ball across the timeline. Burris guards her. Tiger defense has put a lot of pressure on, made things difficult for Indiana Tech to get easy buckets on the interior. But there's a travel call, and now the Tech defense steps up. Shot clock still a factor. There's about a 6 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Indiana Tech, if they choose, can work the shot clock all the way down for the final shot of the first quarter. Here's Whitaker. She worked it all the way down to 2 before she drew a foul in the last possession. It's down to 10 now. But again, you want to drain as much of that shot clock so you can drain as much of the game clock. Whitaker down to 2 seconds, off the glass, no good. Back down the floor come the Tigers. That's a long 3 at the buzzer, and it was halfway down. Cassie Cologne could not knock it down. The transfer from University of Toledo had a chance to give the Tigers a 4-point lead, but instead it's 13-12, and we're back in just a matter of moments in the second quarter on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Georgetown leading Indiana Tech 13-12 at halftime as the Warriors trying to bounce back from a loss to Huntington this past Thursday night. Georgetown has used a lot of pressure defense. They've used some 2-2-1 presses, 2-1-2. Right now, their leading scorer is Madison Darnell. She's got 6 points. Of course, we've got a long way to go. Leading the way for Indiana Tech in scoring are Erica Foy, Kyra Whitaker, and Corinne Smith. Smith, who got some minutes late in that first quarter. And it looks like she's still in, as Indiana Tech will take the ball to start the second quarter. Drive to the basket and the foul. Cassie Cologne called for the foul. That will send Burris to the line.
Cassie Cologne. That will bring Juliana Burris to the line, shooting two.
Burris with a chance to tie the game or perhaps take the lead. It actually is Foy who's in the game now. If I'm not mistaken, Smith is on the bench, and Burris is able to tie it. That puts Burris on the board for the first time. She goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the charity stripe. Here's Suljamani trying to get across the timeline. She does. And they eventually find Toller. Toller into the paint, and a foul is called. Jesse Biggs looking for an explanation. Did not like the call.
Foul is called on Indiana Tech's Taylor Covington.
Taylor Covington called for the foul.
Aaron Toller.
It's Aaron Toller who goes to the line.
What had happened before that foul? It was just a long step. It's two really short trips after the long step.
Toller's able to hit the first one, and we've got a tie game once again. A game that's basically starting to go back and forth by the looks of things. Second one rims out, and whistles blow, and a foul called against the Tigers. That's on Toller, the same player that just shot the free throws. It remains a tie ball game. Whitaker off the inbound, and there's a little bit of that 2-2-1 press. It looked for a moment like Toller was going to back out of it. And now they do shift into the man-to-man. So Whitaker patiently got the ball across the timeline, and Foy able to curl that one in. That puts Foy up to 6 points for the night. A little behind the back dribble there by Toller, and she turns it over. There's Worm across the timeline. High pass just pulled in by Burris, and that one's taken away by Toller. Toller across the timeline. Gets it to the corner to Lanversite, and that shot no good as Burris has the rebound. Pass is tipped. Gets it to Whitaker. Check that, that was Covington. This is Whitaker with the ball. The feed inside. Foy with the extra feed, and Burris has her first field goal of the game.
Juliana Burris from Erica.
Excellent ball movement by the Warriors as Burris, the junior from Dublin, Ohio, is able to find the basket. A.J. Stevenson into the paint. Offensive foul.
This one against Georgetown's Izzy Lamparty.
Izzy Lamparty called for the foul. And here's Whitaker again with that 2-2-1 press from Georgetown. Foy driving into the paint. Knocked down and knocked away. I believe that was Lanversite who forced the turnover. Stevenson fouled on the way up.
Foul on the Warriors, Taylor Covington.
Taylor Covington gets called for that one.
Georgetown's A.J. Stevenson.
A.J. Stevenson will go to the line, try and make this a 3-point game or even a 2-point game if she gets both of them. Stevenson's able to knock down that first one. Stevenson on the board for the first time after that basket. able to add to it. And Georgetown still very much in this game. And they're a well-coached team. Jeff Nickel had a lot of success with Shawnee State, his previous job. He's in his second season with the Georgetown Tigers. And they set up their press again. A foul called before the inbound. They do call the foul on number 21. That's Lisa Soljamani, transfer from Franklin Pierce University. And I believe that is Sophie Smith, who just checked in for Georgetown. Here is Burris up the floor. She's going to be picked up by Smith. The scheme has been full court pressure shifting into a man-to-man as Foy was thinking about that three. Instead, she gives it up to Bethany Worm. Shot clock down to 9. Whitaker feeds it out to Foy. Foy with 5 on the timer, puts it in. I believe that gets Foy up to 8 points. Good defense, meanwhile, by Burris. Here's Jordan Rogers into the paint. Contact made, and a foul is called against the Warriors.
Blocking foul called on the Warriors. Kyra Whitaker.
We get Kyra Whitaker for that one, as the Warriors are going to look to get some subs in the game. Lainey Steckler and Corinne Smith waiting to check in.
Watch that big carry out
Lady Steckler.
Steckler, a graduate student from right here in Fort Wayne. She went to Carroll High School. And Smith is a sophomore from Fenton, Michigan. Rogers goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. Not to be confused with Jordan Rogers, the former Vanderbilt quarterback. There are some obvious differences between those two, as Burris will drive baseline, feeds it off, and Foy able to put it in off the glass. Erica Foy having a heck of a night. Juliana Burris will get the assist. Burris was a big-time scorer on Thursday night, playing more of a facilitating role as Toller drives against 3 defenders, almost put it home. Smith is able to get the rebound. There's Burris across the timeline. Working around to Steckler. Scheme's been pretty consistent defensively so far. That's a catch-and-shoot 3 for Smith. And no good. Worm unable to grab the rebound. And here's Roger. Check that. It's Smith. Sophie Smith down the lane, spinning in. Couldn't hit the shot. But the rebound comes to Lamparty, and she puts it home. That ball is swatted away and out of bounds. Referee able to get out of the way.
Taylor Covington returning.
Pardon there, folks. If you're wondering why I went silent there, it's because I had a cough coming on. Trying to get over this cold that I've been dealing with. But luckily, I've got enough voice to broadcast this game as well as the one before it. Down to 7 on the clock. Burris, no good. I believe that would have been Burris's first 3 of the game had she made it. Into the paint, the shot is good, and this game is tied. Toller puts it home. Covington into the paint. I thought she was going to be whistled for traveling, but instead it's a timeout called by Indiana Tech. First timeout used, perhaps the second timeout used by Indiana Tech this half. We'll be back in just a minute.
Goes by many names: business, fine art, forensic science, Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Tie ball game at 22 apiece. Indiana Tech trying to bounce back from a loss to Huntington on Thursday. Traveling is the call.
Georgetown basketball.
That's a good play. We can get it all night.
Sophie Smith across the timeline for Georgetown. That's Toller, who spots up for three and nails it. I believe that's Toller's first three of the game as the lead goes right back to Georgetown. Foy and a tie-up, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it to the Tigers.
Georgetown basketball.
Sophie Smith will bring this one across the timeline. Landersite gives that one up to Toller. Toller spots up for three, and it is off the mark. Foy with the rebound, gets that one to Covington.
Come on, E. Get one, bro.
Smith was thinking about using the baseline, it looked like. Instead, works it outside, and there's Covington. Foy cutting in. Instead, they'll go outside. Now they get it to Foy. It's knocked away from behind, but a foul. Jordan Rogers beside herself after that call.
Foul is on Georgetown's Jordan Rogers.
This is going to be free throws for Erica
Erica
Foy.
Foy going to the free throw line to shoot two.
Only the first foul on Jordan Rogers so far. And Foy knocked down that first free throw. Either team has had a large lead in this game. I believe the largest lead for either team so far has been 4 points. Foy's able to knock that one down.
Lady Steckler returning for the Indiana
Lady
Tech
Steckler
Warriors.
back into the game. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Party able to get that one to Sophie Smith, and that's a foul away from the ball, and it's an illegal screen against Georgetown.
Moving screen.
You got Rogers, I think.
Rogers.
Indeed, there's the announcement.
Basketball.
Warriors take over, down just one. And again, Georgetown going to put on some pressure. Burris is able to get this one across the timeline. Burris coming off that great 24-point performance where she had a late bucket with just under 3 seconds to go, which would have been the game winner had it not been for the three on the other end by Huntington. Shot clock down to 9. Screen and roll. Warren with the extra feet, it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Warriors. Toller driving to the basket and a foul called on the Warriors. They get Juliana Burris for that.
Juliana Burris of Indiana Tech.
Was not on the shot. For Burris, that's only her first. Sophie Smith to put the ball in play. Now here is Smith at the top of the key, guarded by Torrance Smith, I believe. That shot's a little bit too strong. Beg your pardon, that's Corin Smith with a K. Here's Foy. Fakes the pass. Gets it out to Steckler. Here's Worm away from the block, working her way toward the block. Gets it off. A little bit too strong on the shot. Seems like we've been stuck at 25-24 for about 2 minutes as Smith drives into the paint, missed it on the way up, and Worm's got the board. Worm is fouled just short of the timeline. We had the announcement that will lead to free throws. This is Bethany Worm at the charity stripe, and her first free throw is no good. Still a chance to tie the game, though. The second try is good, and this game is tied, 25 apiece. Smith across the timeline, and they get the ball back to Lanversite. Recently into the game, Shelby Wilson, a native of Winchester, Kentucky. Graduate of George Rogers Clark High School. Loose ball, battle for it, traveling the call. Speaking of George Rogers Clark, as I recall, he was a native of Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I'm not a history teacher, but it's what I remember from my time in school. Juliana Burris across the timeline. And somehow gets that ball to Smith. Worm is fouled. Did not hit the shot, but she'll go to the line. That is Shelby Wilson, who entered the game not too long ago, and Bethany Worm going to the free throw line. And a chance to give the Warriors the lead. We had been stuck at 25-24 for a long time, perhaps coming up on 3 minutes. And Worm does give Tech the lead. Two for two. Sophie Smith will bring this ball across the timeline for Georgetown. Gets around the screen from Stevenson. Stevenson into the paint, draws several defenders, and then gets fouled.
Foul whistle against Indiana Tech's Lainey Steckler. A.J. Stevenson.
They get Lainey Steckler for that foul. And the first free throw is good. And now Georgetown's got a chance to tie. She goes 2 for 2. Burris will bring this one across the timeline for the Warriors. Georgetown's been consistent with that man-to-man defense. They've been very good defensively today, especially with their full court pressure as Burris is able to find Steckler. Foy, a step inside the line, but too strong on the jumper, but Smith gets the rebound and then throws it away. Burris battling for it, and it's in the backcourt. Stevenson able to chase it down at the end line, knocked out of bounds. Georgetown ball, the Tech sideline pleading for that to be called Warrior basketball.
How about the tackle after, Judge?
So Jamani will put it in play. Check that. That is Stevenson. And she gets it into Sophie Smith as we approach the final minute of the first half. Lanversite gives it up to Wilson. Leaning in is Lamparty, out of bounds. Georgetown ball again. Thought I heard somebody say touchdown. That's obviously not a factor in this sport. Left-handed shot off the bottom of the backboard, no good, and Foy gets the rebound. Just under a minute to play. Indiana Tech looking for the lead. It's been a while since they've scored from the field. Their last 5 points have come from the charity stripe. Drive to the basket, and Foy counted, and a foul. And Indiana Tech takes the lead. They call the foul on Lamparty. And Foy with a chance to complete the three-point play. Still 31 seconds, just a 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Free throw is good. It's a 3-point lead for Indiana Tech. We'll see if Georgetown tries to run down the clock. It looks like Jeff Nickel wants to go quick. This is Wilson with the feed outside. And check that. Looks like the Tigers will work the clock down. Back to the outside. 3 ball. Landversick, no good. Down to 1 on the clock. Smith gets it away at the buzzer, no good. That would have stretched the lead out to 6. But Indiana Tech will take the 30-27 lead at halftime. Indiana Tech looking to bounce back from a tough loss to Huntington on Wednesday night. So far, so good. They've got a 30-27 lead against a team that plays very scrappy defense. Warriors looking to finish strong. Second half comes your way in a matter of moments. You are watching Indiana Tech Warrior basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Hi, I'm Paxton, and I'll be your tour guide today. Behind me, we have Pearson Hall. This is one of our freshman dorms on campus. Today, I'll be showing you dorm rooms. Come inside. The only way to get into campus is if you have an ID card, so you'll have to swipe into all the dorms. And then over here, we have an intercom system. So through every dorm, we have these dial buttons within the dorm rooms and then outside. So say you're visiting somebody, you don't live here, you would dial their room number, and then you can actually call their room, and they can unlock the doors to the dorm through the intercom system, and you can talk to them. They can see you through a camera, and they can unlock the doors for you so they don't have to leave the room. It's really nice to have. So right here we just have our main lobby. Every floor has a lobby. In the lobbies we just have TVs and stuff. You can watch movies, play video games. You can hang out with friends, do homework, play card games. It's just a nice little hangout area to have. And then right here, this is what we call our RA office. So every single night there will be an RA in the office. They're just there for your needs if you have any issues with toilets or sinks or anything being clogged. They'll always be in there for your help. If you have questions about anything, you can always come see an RA here. And then over here, we have mailboxes. Every student has a mailbox. They are really small. The only thing they can fit is card-sized items. Throughout campus, you'll see our mail room when you go on your actual tour later on, and that will be in one of our other buildings where you'll receive bigger packages. All right, so here's the laundry room. So in the laundry room, you don't have to save quarters or use quarters. I know it says 25 cents, but it is included with living on campus. And then there's one on every floor and every side of the floor, so there's 2 on every floor in Pearson. So every student has keys to their dorm. And then as you come in, you will see our intercom system right here that I talked about in the entranceway. So this is where you would unlock the door for visitors, talk to them. And then one really nice thing about it is there is a security guard button right there. So if you were to have somebody like calling your room constantly at like 5 o'clock in the morning because some student forgot their keys, you could actually press the security guard button and it will lock them in that little box that we entered to into the dorm. It'll lock both the outside doors and the inside doors and call security. So it also has a nice safety measure within your room. You don't even have to leave your room for that. So it's really nice. And then as we enter in this way, you'll see this is the half of our room looks like. So there's this, and then on the other side of the suite, there's a mirrored room that looks exactly like this. The desk, the dressers, and the closets, and all of the drawers and stuff all come with. You can decorate it any way you'd like, and then like mini fridges, TVs, anything like that you would bring here. And then through here we have our bathroom. So then as we come into the bathroom, you'll see that this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then as you come through, there's one shower shared between the two rooms, and then this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then there's the mirrored room right here. So then they share a little common space out there, and then this is the exact same stuff, and it's all the same. Here we have Calflush. This is our other freshman dorm on campus. It is across the street from main campus. We'll be showing another freshman dorm, the laundry room, and then the hangout lobby area. Come on in. So same thing as Pearson. To get into the dorms, you have to have a swipe card that unlocks and lets you in. All right, and then we have the same intercom system as we do in Pearson, and it runs throughout all of the dorms. And then in here is the lobby area where all the students hang out. We have like a TV so people can hook up like Xboxes or anything like that, DVD players, you can watch movies. I know RA's put on a bunch of activities down here. They do like movie nights with hot chocolate during the winter. We've done like pumpkin carving and we watch a Halloween movie, and so that's all done down here. And then it's the same thing over here. You can do some studying, you can hang out with friends, you can eat dinner if you want, and like I said, you can hang out with your RA, hang out with your friends, do homework, but follow me to the next part. So same thing as Pearson, every student has keys to their dorm. So when you first walk in, it's different than Pearson where there's no like two mirrored room, it's just one room with two students. The shelves, the desk, the drawers, all of the beds and stuff all come with. And then over here, it's the same for Pearson and Calflush. You can control the air condition and the heat for the room, not the entire dorm, which is so nice because then it's between you and your roommate, not through hundreds of people in one building. And then as we walk over here, you'll see that the sink is outside of the bathroom, which is so nice because obviously if your roommate's showering, you don't have to worry about not being able to brush your teeth or even use the sink or get a drink of water or anything like that. And then as we walk over here, you'll see only two roommates to one bathroom. And then the shelving space. And then instead of Pearson where they have closets, you would have this whole shelving space and hanger area. And then same thing as Pearson, we have the intercom system over here where you can press the security guard button, you can talk to them, and then see them through the camera. Calflush also has mailboxes. They're the same size. They fit card-sized items. And again, if you have any bigger packages, we do have a mailroom on campus. So then through here, this is the laundry room. The difference between Pearson and Calflush is Calflush, there's only one in the whole building and it's on the first floor, whereas Pearson has them on every floor. But it is the same as they are included with living here, so you don't have to use quarters. It's free to the students. And that concludes the tour. Thanks for coming with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your counselor. Hope to see you around campus. Go Warriors!
It is halftime here at Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech with a lead, 30-27 over the Tigers of Georgetown. Well, we're going to go ahead and give you our statistics for this game so far. First for the visiting Tigers of Georgetown, their leading scorer so far is Madison Darnell. She's got 6 points, but close behind her is Erin Toller with 5. Izzy Lamparty has 4, as does Jordan Rogers and A.J. Stevenson. A couple of different players with 4 points apiece. Georgetown has come up with a grand total of 7 steals in this game, and that can be a credit to the full court pressure defense, the 2-2-1 press that they've used quite frequently in this game. It's been a 2-2-1 press, often shifting into a man-to-man when Tech gets the ball across half court. Now for Indiana Tech, their leading scorer is Erica Foy. She's got 15 points. She's far and away the leading scorer for tonight. You know, sometimes you're going to have one player having a big night. Other nights you're going to have a bunch of players having big nights, and it's Foy who's having the big night tonight with 15. Juliana Burris, 4 points after that 24-point performance on Thursday. Kyra Whitaker with 4 points. Corinne Smith with 4 off the bench. Bethany Worm with 3. Only 2 steals for Indiana Tech so far. However, they do have 6 assists in the game. However, the full court pressure has led to a number of turnovers. Indiana Tech with 11 turnovers in the first half. We'll show you a few replays when we come back here on this broadcast of Indiana Tech Warrior basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
I think it's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The 2 things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets. And also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references, and if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.
(30-27). Indiana Tech with the lead, and we'll show you a couple of replays. Our Summit City Sports replay. Now there's a look at our first one. That's Kyra Whitaker dribbling the ball around, but it's going to be Erica Foy. We talked about her earlier. She's got 15 points in the game, and you'll see a few of them from her here. Able to score cut into the basket there. Good job by Foy. And we'll show you one more replay. Our replays, we'll show it to you here in just a second. So get rid of the scoreboard there. Yeah, here's another look at our next replay. This time a lot more ball movement. Foy's going to be involved in this play, not only on the screen but also on the feed to Bethany Worm. Erica Foy, not only a scorer but a facilitator on that particular possession. And then a look at our next replay. One more replay here, and Foy's going to be involved on this one. She's working her way all around without the basketball. That's one thing that the Warriors have been doing a good job of tonight. And then Foy able to get the basket with the shot clock winding down. So Indiana Tech holding on to a 30-27 lead over the Georgetown Tigers. We will be right back in just a matter of moments. You are watching Indiana Tech Warrior basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Welcome back. We are just about ready for the start of the second half here at the Schaefer Center at Indiana Tech. The Warriors leading 30-27. We're just about 5 seconds away, it looks like. And we do have some good news for you high school volleyball fans. Blackhawk Christian has knocked off Southwood 3-1 in the Class 1A North Semi-State Championship game. And this update from Justin Prince at Fox 55. They are headed on to state for the first time since 2016 against Tecumseh. Again, Justin Prince tweeted that out about an hour ago for Fox 55. And, well, congratulations to the Braves.
Indiana Tech with 0, Juliana Burris, 3, Taylor Covington, 11, Erica Foy, 13, Kyra Whitaker, and 20, Bethany Warren.
That Braves basketball team can be very good, particularly the women's team. Men's team could certainly be good. Of course, they've got a new head coach, Matt Roth, taking over the program. But we're back to the action here at the Schaefer Center as Kyra Whitaker has the ball. And they give it up to Worm. Covington with the pull-up three. That's no good. Burris hustles after the rebound. Burris, a crossover to her left, gets into the paint, and traveling is the call. And Georgetown will take over on the turnover. Across the timeline comes Soljamani. Slowing down and into the paint and scoring is Madison Darnell, and Georgetown is within one. Burris across the timeline. They get it over to Whitaker. Whitaker slows things down, and they work this one inside to Foy. Tough shot by Foy, and that's too strong. Jordan Rogers with the rebound, and back the other way come the Tigers. Check that. I believe that was Izzy Lamparty who got the rebound, and now traveling, I think, or a foul. It will be traveling. And Indiana Tech will take over up by 1. Burris double teamed near the timeline and tried to force a kick ball call. That ball's poked away, but Toller comes up with it. Toller down the baseline and a foul. They call the foul on Juliana Burris, and Aaron Toller will go to the line. Indiana Tech has a home game this coming Tuesday against Miami University Hamilton. But right now trying to get to 1-1 on the season following the tough loss to Huntington. But Toller's got a chance to give Georgetown the lead, and that's exactly what she does. This is Foy looking to hand that one off, gets it to Covington. Covington was thinking about the 3, and now here goes Whitaker down the baseline. Throws it away. Little miscommunication between her and Worm. Tell you what, every time I say that name, I think of the movie Coach Carter. One of the players for the Richmond Oilers had the nickname of Worm. Of course, with Bethany, it's not really a nickname. It's her last name. Whitaker through traffic, puts it up and in. Whitaker's got her first points of the second half. Back down the floor come the Tigers. Long pass, and that's out of bounds. Appeared to be out off of the Tigers. I think they're going to say it's out off the Warriors, I beg your pardon. Little shot fake there by Soljamani. 15 on the shot clock. And they're working around to Toller. Toller into the paint, draws contact, offensive foul. Got called for the contact. And Indiana Tech will take over. Jordan Rogers going to check in. Inbound comes to Whitaker. That ball is tipped and nearly taken away, but Worm able to keep it alive for the Warriors. Good play by Worm. Whitaker spots up and hits a 3. Cairo Whitaker from downtown. And Indiana Tech swells its lead out to 4. Fake shot, they get it back outside to Soljamani. Soljamani into the basket. Could not curl it in, and Worm has the rebound. Whitaker fires another 3. Not that time. Battle for the board, and Burris has got it. Good fight there by Burris, and now Whitaker looking to drive baseline. The kick out to Burris. She'll drive. Covington open, she fires. Couldn't put it home. Offensive board, put back is good, and that's Foy. Foy had 15 points in that first half. I believe she's up to 17 now, that being her first of the half. A little shot fake by Cologne, and foul is called against the Warriors. We're going to call that one on Whitaker. Was not on the shot, so Georgetown's going to get the ball from the sideline. Corin Smith comes into the game, as does Callie Jackson. Smith for Indiana Tech, Jackson for Georgetown. Soljamani feeds that one off. Good look for Cologne. She fires a three, and it's in and out. Burris with the rebound. Burris will bring that one across the timeline. Burris drives to the basket, slows it down, has it blocked on the way up, but a foul.
Foul is called on Georgetown's Cassie Cologne.
Cassie Cologne gets called for that foul.
Juliana Burris for the Warriors to the free throw line.
Juliana Burris goes to the line.
Jalen Lambersite checks in for Georgetown.
.5:45 to go, and Burris unable to connect on that free throw. Of course, free throw is incredibly precious. There are two longtime head coaches at the helm of these teams. Mentioned Jeff Nickel. All those seasons he spent with Georgetown, Shawnee State. It's his second season with Georgetown. Jessie Biggs is now in her 11th season as the head coach at Indiana Tech. Had that great WAC conference title a year ago. And now trying to capitalize off of that and also bounce back from the loss to Huntington just a couple nights ago. Whitaker to the basket. Check that, it's Covington, the freshman, who scores in transition. I beg your pardon, it's 39-33. Indiana Tech with the lead midway through the third quarter. Foul is called. They're going to call that one on Burris. Could not get the first free throw. That's Soljamani at the line. And by the way, two of the players on this Indiana Tech team were NAIA All-American. They were named to the All-Conference teams as well. Erica Foy and Kara Whitaker. Three ball is good by Foy. Check that, it's a 2, 41-32. They actually changed the scoreboard back to having 31 points and then 32 on the made free throw not too long ago. Midway through the third quarter, Indiana Tech with a 9-point lead, and a foul is called to be away from the ball. It's on Bethany Worm.
Ball out of bounds to Georgetown.
Georgetown gets the ball. A long inbound, short inbound actually. I thought it was going long at first. Shot by Darnell, no good, and that's Worm who has the rebound. Couple of crossovers there. I believe that was Covington. Number 3 instead of number 13. Sometimes it's hard to tell when they're further away. Three ball off the mark from Smith, but an offensive board from Worm, and she's fouled on the inside. Into the game comes Izzy Lamparty as Corin Smith gets a little word from Jessie Biggs. First free throw is good for Worm. Second one's also good, and it's an 11-point lead. Indiana Tech with a double-digit lead. The first time they've had that tonight, first time they've had that this season. Driving to the basket, is Toller, and a foul is called.
Foul is on Erica Foy.
They get Erica Foy for that foul.
Erin Toller going to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Georgetown.
Jesse Biggs' inner time at Indiana Tech has won 209 games, trying to get 210. That might not be typically referred to as a milestone, but it's an extra step in the right direction for a program that's been doing very well, especially in recent years. Very good success against the WAC Conference. 137-45 is the record under Biggs in that time. 1 for 2 on the free throws. I beg your pardon, it should be 43-33. Covington feeds that one over to Smith. Smith with the fake. That's knocked away and out of bounds by Jordan Rogers. And Indiana Tech will keep the ball. Sophie Smith into the game. They inbound that one to Foy. Foul against the Warriors, an illegal screen. Genevieve Decker-Terrace called for the illegal screen. Toller will bring this one across the timeline. A 10-point lead for the Warriors against a pretty good Georgetown team, a team that's coming off finishing third place in the Mid-South Conference a year ago as Rogers throws up a wild one. Putback wouldn't go. Lamparty is fouled.
Indiana Tech foul whistle against Taylor Covington. Izzy Lamparty going to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Georgetown.
They called that foul on Taylor Covington, and now Lamparty at the free throw line, and she's got the first one. Indiana Tech did not have a double-digit lead against Huntington on Thursday night. However, they did have a 9-point lead. But Huntington fought back and won it at the buzzer. We're checking on something at the scorer's table. It looks like everything's okay. Lamparty goes 2 for 2, and it's an 8-point lead for Indiana Tech. Inbound goes to Covington. More of that double team, and Tigers are able to force the turnover. More of that full court pressure, I should say. They've used that frequently as Smith gets into the paint, and she'll back it out to the three-point line. Double team comes, and a foul. Excuse me, as Georgetown tries to work their way back into this game on the interior, but also from the free throw line. Lamparty going to shoot a couple more, and she was at the line just a moment ago. I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Starts off this trip well. Second one's no good, and the Warriors get the rebound. Well, now we can tell you, Lamparty had gone 2 for 2 on her last trip. She almost went 4 for 4, but she missed the last one. Worm on the baseline. Gets it up top to Covington. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Foy, no good. She gets her own rebound. Foy sticking with it. Second one's no good. She stuck with it again, but this time it's Rogers who comes away with the ball. Toller called for traveling. And Tech will take over. Leading by 7, although the last 4 points belong to Georgetown. I know 4 points doesn't seem like much, but little by little, teams can work their way back into a game. I remember in 2017 when Florida was leading Duke by 17 points with about 7.5 minutes left to go in the game as Smith misses that 3 ball. Duke worked their way back into the game, and it wasn't so much with three-point shooting, but speaking of three-point shooting, Taylor Covington swells the lead with a little bit of three-point shooting. Back out to a 10-point lead for Tech. Kick it back outside to Toller. Toller drives into the paint. No good. Offensive board. Lamparty puts it in. Izzy Lamparty makes it an 8-point game. Indiana Tech will look to answer as we come up to the final minute of the third quarter. Oh, Decker Torres had a good look, couldn't put it home. Here's Toller around the screen. Step back 3, it's too strong. And Foy grabs the rebound for the Warriors. Foy driving, slows it down. It's about a 15-second differential between shot clock and game clock, so the Warriors will need to take a shot here. Could give themselves a second chance, perhaps. A little screen and roll action. Foy is fouled. Erica Foy on the drive to the basket. And she does have a chance to add to this Warrior lead late in the third quarter. A.J. Stevenson will check into the game. I believe they called that foul on Lamparty. That'd be her third. Officials are discussing something here. No, offensive foul. They're going to change the call. Erica Foy gets charged with the offensive foul, and Jessie Biggs getting an explanation. Of course, the way it works in the game of basketball is you get an explanation, but you also try to give one.
That was bad, fellas. Terrible. That was bad. Yeah. That was horrible.
We are listening to one of the reasons why referees have to have some thick skin to work in this business, because you want to be a referee, you take it from the fans. And of course, some of the stuff you take is just not necessary. Toller into the paint, spinning around, off the glass and in. Georgetown's within 6, and that's the end of the third quarter. Indiana Tech's got the lead, looking to hold on, trying to get their first win of the season. Fourth quarter comes your way next. We're back in just a matter of moments here on SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
Fourth quarter about to start here at the Schaefer Center on the campus of Indiana Tech. Indiana Tech volleyball already a winner today. They win on senior day over Lawrence Tech, 3-1. Now Indiana Tech women's basketball trying to knock off Georgetown. It's a well-coached Georgetown team. It's a well-coached Indiana Tech team. 11 years for Jessie Biggs at the helm of this program, and they're coming off a WAC title from a year ago. won over 200 games in her career. And as I recall, I said 209 wins for Jessie Biggs. I think it's actually more than that because last year's record did not show on her bio. It does show on the website, though. There's a takeaway by Covington. So I believe it actually adds up to around 240 wins, if I'm not mistaken. So she's already reached the 210 milestone, if you want to call it that. Covington, who just got the steal, feeds it over to Burris. 3 ball comes up short from Covington. She's already made one. Jump ball. Possession arrow should keep it with Tech. And it will indeed keep it with Tech. .9:23 on the clock. Warriors will inbound. Fake the pass, and now they get it in to Whitaker. Whitaker, as I recall, had a good long rest in that third quarter. Worm fakes the pass. They get it to Smith. That's a long 3 by Whitaker. Short. Indiana Tech trying to hold on. Had a 9-point lead against Huntington on Thursday and could not hold it. They've had an 11-point lead in this game. Right now it's at 6, and it stays that way on the miss by Cassie Cologne. Man-to-man defense, that's been the commonly used scheme for Georgetown in this game. That along with full court pressure early in possessions. Inside to Whitaker. Whitaker off the glass, didn't even get the glass. And a one-and-done possession for Georgetown. Entry pass to Cologne off the glass and good. And Georgetown is within 4. Juliana Burris feeds it over to Smith. Smith finds Covington. Back out to Worm. Shot clock down to 9. Whitaker draining the clock down to 5 and draws a foul. They call the foul on Madison Darnell, native of Russell, Kentucky. I think they're saying that this was a non-shooting foul. They will reset the shot clock. That does allow Indiana Tech to take a little more time off the clock, but in a 4-point game, might be a little more concerned about getting the basket here. Burris backs it out. Of course, if you can do both, that's all the better. Inside and off the hands of Whitaker. Whitaker had 2 defenders near her, but could not hold on to that pass. Soljamani gets it inbounds to Aaron Toller. Toller gets a screen. Leaning in, and a foul called against the Warriors. They call that foul on Corinne Smith, and it looks like Darnell is going to the line, and she can make this a 1-score game, even with just 1 made free throw. But she missed the first one. Can Indiana Tech close it out? Second one's good, and it is a 1-score game. A 3-point lead for the Warriors. They've led by as many as 11. This team does have a lot of talent back, and looked like Burris did not get across the timeline or even step on it. Whitaker drives, a little bit too strong, and the Tigers have the board. It's Lamparty who comes up with it on the rebound, and now Toller with a contested 3, and that is short. Whitaker will get the board. Whitaker down the floor, slows it down, and finds Smith. They fake the pass and get it to Foy. Three ball is good. Check that, it's Smith. Corin Smith for three. Stretches the lead back out to 6 in a much-needed triple. As the Tigers have made it a one-score game, and it stays a 6-point game. Whitaker, no-look pass, and the basket is good. Taylor Covington, and what a feed by Whitaker. Georgetown will call a timeout, and we will take one right along with them here on this broadcast of Warriors basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything.
Warriors were up 11. Georgetown had cut that deficit to 3 here in this fourth quarter, but now Indiana Tech is up 8. They've scored the last 5 points. Corin Smith with a 3, and then a beautiful feed from Kyra Whitaker to Taylor Covington on the last possession. Spinning in is Toller. She traveled. Inbound goes to Burris. Checking in on some St. Francis soccer. It looks like St. Francis is tied with Taylor. That's men's soccer, by the way. St. Francis football played Taylor today. More on that later. But right now, Indiana Tech trying to swell this lead, and Burris is able to draw a foul along the baseline. Not on the shot, but that will allow Indiana Tech to take a little bit extra time off the clock as the shot clock is reset to 20. Lisa Soljamani back into the game for the Tigers. We're able to get that one over to Burris. Sorry if that sounded a little raspy. Didn't mean for it to sound raspy, still getting over the cold, but feeling well enough to call this game. Oh, good feed. Worm able to cash it in. Taylor Covington gets the assist. The freshman has made some nice plays in this game. Pull up 3, Soljamani no good. Saved by Cassie Colon, but she throws it away. Tech takes over. She threw that one to Smith. Burris around the screen. That's Worm who sets it. Whitaker able to feed it over to Burris. Indiana Tech had an 11-point lead in the third quarter. Lead is up to 10, and they'll have a chance to stretch it out even further. And Covington does just that. Taylor Covington. A big-time 3 from the freshman. That's her second 3 of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Toller from the free throw line. She'll back it out. Shot fake by Colon. Colon spinning in. Contested shot comes up short. Covington with the board. She finds Whitaker. Whitaker was thinking about the 3. Got a 1-on-1 opportunity, and of course the benefit of waiting for her teammates to come back is she gets to take a little bit more time off the clock. With this 13-point lead, Indiana Tech willing to do some of that. Oh, what a cut! Was that Covington? It was indeed. The freshman making one play after another. I believe that's 5 straight points for Covington. And into the game comes Jalen Landversite. Jordan Rogers will also check in. But Covington with a chance at a 3-point play, a 15-point lead for Indiana Tech with 4 minutes to go. The free throw's no good. But Indiana Tech trying to close the door slowly but surely. Toller's 3 is off the mark. Bethany Worm with the rebound. Assuming Indiana Tech's able to hold on, this will be a very satisfying win. This is a good Georgetown team, a well-coached Georgetown team. We saw some of what they can do today with their pressure, but Indiana Tech, as the game has gone on, has been able to weather that pressure. Taking some time off the clock here, which benefits them, but soon they got to get a shot off. Whitaker did not. That's a shot clock violation. Was she fouled? They're going to say that Landversite did foul her. I thought at first that she just didn't get the shot off, but Whitaker draining the shot clock and drawing the foul. She's done that at least twice tonight. She's able to hit that first free throw. Whitaker's got plenty of experience under her belt. She's a graduate student from Greensburg, Indiana. Second one rims out. Now we learned a little bit about what the volleyball players want to do with their post-college careers earlier today. Foul called on the inside. Some of them want to work in the automotive industry. Some of them want to work in motorsports engineering. That's an interesting field to work with, and I'm sure a fun one to work in. Also can be a very fast-paced industry to work in. No pun intended. As Rogers is at the free throw line and gets a little friendly shooter's roll. 3:04 left in the game. Indiana Tech up 15. Gets both of them. But Indiana Tech looking to take some time off of this clock. Got to get the ball across the timeline first against this press, and they do. Won't have to worry about a 10-second violation, though they did come close. Got it over in 9 seconds. Of course, the referee keeps count of that. Burris is fouled on the way to the basket. They call the foul on Madison Darnell. That is her 4th. One away from fouling out of this game as Burris will go to the line. Burris a little long on that free throw. Second one's no good. Sophie Smith across the timeline. Gets it over to Toller, into the paint. Foul is called. And Toller will go to the line to shoot a couple.
Fouls on Indiana Tech's Juliana Burris. Erin Toller for Georgetown, to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Well, with that, Erin Toller will go to the free throw line. Clock stopped at 2:32, and Toller's free throw rolls in. Second one's good. Full court pressure. And you expect that when a team is down as much as Georgetown is, but Tech's able to beat it, and they're able to score against it, and that's Covington again. Taylor Covington coming alive in the fourth quarter. And it's a 14-point lead for Tech But right there for the answer is Aaron Toller. And a timeout taken by Georgetown. I believe that's the first one they've used in this game. It's a full timeout. We'll take it right along with them. 2:06 to go. Indiana Tech trying to close it out.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
61-49, Indiana Tech trying to close out their first win of the season. After a heartbreaking loss to Huntington on Thursday night, Indiana Tech trying to put that behind them. They've had to face some good pressure from this Georgetown team, and it affected them early on, but Indiana Tech, as the game went on, was able to use good ball movement to beat that pressure. And on the last possession, we saw him score in transition to beat that pressure. And now Whitaker will get the ball across the timeline, threads the needle with the pass to Worm. And right now, Indiana Tech perhaps content to milk the clock before they take the next shot. They milked it down to 8. It's Covington. Worm on the drive. Tried to dish it out, and she turns it over. Quick down the floor comes Rogers. It's not over yet. Rogers on the drive, left it short. Battle for the ball, and Indiana Tech's got it. That's Covington racing down the floor. She'll take it to the cup. The freshman does it again. Taylor Covington trying to play the role of closer. Move over Eric Gagne. Had several choices who I could have gone with there. Of course, Gagne is long retired from Major League Baseball. Curling that shot in is Callie Jackson. Could have gone with Josh Hader. Though his success, whoa, hold on a second. Jeff Nickel just basically said, nah, forget about it. Even though I think that might have been over and back. Nickel said, never mind it. Not this late in the game. And a foul is called. It goes out of bounds. Nope, just a ball out of bounds, no foul. Inbound goes to Whitaker. Shot clock down to 4. Step back 3, and she's fouled. Jordan Rogers ran right into her trying to contest the shot. And Whitaker's going to shoot 3 with 29.7 seconds left to go. And once the next possession happens for Georgetown, Indiana Tech can pretty much ice the game away. There's the first set of icing on the cake with the free throw. Whitaker, so far so good on this trip to the line. As Darnell was waiting under the ball, waiting for it to roll off the rim, but it wouldn't have mattered because Whitaker's got one more free throw. And she gets it. 15-point lead for the Warriors. And after this next possession, Indiana Tech can pretty much ice the game away, but a foul is called before the shot. The basket will not count. And that will send Jordan Rogers to the free throw line. Or check that, it's going to be Georgetown ball underneath the baseline. I believe that one went to Cologne on the inbound. Here's Toller driving to the basket, left-handed shot, it's good. But it's basically moot point now. Indiana Tech is going to win this game. They're going to move to 1-1 on the season. A chance to go over 500 on Tuesday when they take on Miami University Hamilton. Indiana Tech a winner tonight. Indiana Tech holds off a scrappy Georgetown team. Scrappy and well coached, both these teams well coached. As Indiana Tech moves to 1-1 on the season. High expectations for this team at a disappointing loss on Thursday, but they bounce back from that, and the Warriors in the win column this year with a chance to go over 500 with Miami University Hamilton coming in here on Tuesday afternoon. That's a 4 p.m. tip, by the way. We do plan to bring it to you. Another Indiana Tech Warrior basketball broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. We'll be back for more in just a moment.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Indiana Tech a winner tonight. They bounce back from Wednesday night's loss to Huntington. They are 1-1 on the season, and this was a win against a very good Georgetown team, at least based on their record from a year ago, but also based on the style of play. It's a team that used a lot of full court pressure, shifted into the man-to-man off of that. But Indiana Tech, as the game went on, you saw them use a lot of ball movement to beat that full court pressure. A few transition opportunities that wasn't strictly transition offense that Tech used, but they were able to utilize that as well as good ball movement, players move without the basketball. That is a way to beat full court pressure. And Indiana Tech was able to utilize that tonight. They win this one by a final score of 66-53. Look at the final statistics. Aaron Toller, the leading scorer for Georgetown with 16 points. Madison Darnell and Izzy Lamparty each score 9. Cassie Cologne and A.J. Stevenson each score 4. And when this game was all said and done, the Tigers had a grand total of 9 steals. For Indiana Tech, their leading scorer was Erica Foy with 19 points. Taylor Covington, the freshman, picks up 16, and Kyra Whitaker gets 13. Bethany Worm with 7, Corinne Smith with 7, and Juliana Burris with 4. Well, it's time to award our Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game. We're actually going to award a couple of players tonight. Erica Foy, the leading scorer. Taylor Covington with 16 points came on strong in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And Kyra Whitaker played a big role as a facilitator as well. 3 assists tonight for Whitaker in addition to her 13 points. So Whitaker, Foy, and Covington are your Parkview Sports Medicine Players of the Game. And that's going to do it from here at Dan Klein Court on the campus of Indiana Tech. For my cameraman, Ahmad Williams, this is Thad Goff saying so long from the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech wins it 66-53. This broadcast has been brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change, and depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2, and he's one of the professors that teaches it, and he was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at SuperValue Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate if you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab. You need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.